says, does a small amount of water becomes najis, that is impure, if some impurity falls into it, but its characteristics do not change? This is a very long topic that was discussed in the books of jurisprudence, of fiqh, in different schools of thought. And mainly the reason of difference of opinion is a number of evidences. One, the hadith that when the water is over 2 pots or jars, it does not carry impurity because the amount of water is a lot. And the other hadith is water is tuhur. The water is tahur, and it is not rendered najis by anything. And a number of other hadiths that fall under the same guidelines. So some scholars said that if the water is below the level of 2 qullah, jars or pots, big pots, then it carries impurity, regardless. And some said, no, it doesn't carry impurity, or it is not rendered as impure, because the Prophet said that water is tahur. And it is not rendered najis by anything that falls into it. Now they all agree that if the water, whether a lot or little, if one of the 3 characteristics of it has changed by an impurity, a najasa, then it becomes najis. And these characteristics are the smell, the color, and the taste, or the taste, one of these 3. So if there is a lake, the sea water, the ocean water, the Nile, the river, this is not rendered as najis because it's always running, and no matter how impurity you put in it, it does not change its characteristics because it's a lot. But now the problem is if we come to a small amount of water and a tiny little drop of urine fell into it, I'm not going to drink it, of course. But if I look into it and I smell it and I taste it, but if so happens, and there is nothing that has changed. So all the characteristics of water remain as water. It was not changed by this little minute impurity that fell into it. This is the issue of dispute. Some scholars say, no, it is najis, even if it's not changed, because it's less than 2 jars or 2 pots. Some, and this is the most authentic opinion, say that as long as the 3 characteristics did not change, then the water is still pure, and we cannot describe it otherwise. So this is the most authentic opinion of scholars. Now, if you want to be safe, you can easily avoid the water that had impurity in it for certain, but it did not change its characteristics. If the amount is negligible, so if it's like 5-6 liters and you can dispose of that just to be safe and to be careful for your religion, that would be okay. But if you use that water because the characteristics are intact and not changed by an impurity, this is the most authentic opinion and there's no problem on you in that.